Hey everyone, Liam here, and welcome to this match preview and prediction for the match between Jannik Sinner and Francisco Cerundolo in the fourth round of the Rome Masters. Let's get into it. Before we get into the video, as always, if you enjoyed the content on the channel, please like and subscribe. Really helps grow the quality shot tennis community. Well, Sinner's back here in Rome and he's looking absolutely incredible on court. I mean, both matches from start to finish, just great stuff. He looks like he hasn't missed a beat at all. I think this one coming in against Francisco Cerundolo is going to be, I guess, the first real test of his level. Of course, beating Navone and beating De Jong in his first and his second match in Rome is, it's great, but I think the real test is how good is he going to be against someone who has been in form recently, who has had some big wins, against like Sasha Zverev in Madrid, but also, playing really well when he played against Carlos Alcaraz in Monte Carlo, even though he lost that match. So it's going to be one of those tests, and also it's a mental one as well, because their head-to-head is quite tight, and the last match they played a couple years ago went the way of Francisco here in Rome. So that's really what's going to be happening coming into this one. I think it's going to be a test both mentally and for both players, because Cerundolo will feel, okay, well, I beat him in 2023 in his home country. Why shouldn't I be able to replicate this year, especially now that he's just come back from 3 months away from the court. Sinner, of course, playing in front of his home crowd. He said publicly that, his focus isn't to win Rome. Of course, it'd be great to win Rome, but his focus is to be in absolute best shape and best, sort of form going into the French Open. That doesn't mean he still doesn't want to play at his absolute best here in Rome. And as the number one seed, I think he's quite focused on getting himself to at least a final, because I think he wants to get those better player matchups under his belt before getting to the French, to really test what's lacking and what's there in his game still. So that's, I think, something is he's looking at every match as a step forward in trying to find his range and what is his best aspects of his game and what are the worst aspects of his game right now that he needs to improve. I mean, the depth of shot, the serve, the backhand, the quality of the movement is still there. It's great stuff. Cerundolo is one of those players who, loves to play on clay, will hit with a lot of topspin, but can hit extremely flat at times, and is just a very, very good placer of the ball. He knows how to play the angles and the momentum on the clay. But I think with the Italian crowd having waited a few months to see Sinner now, and the sort of I would say the aura of the moment for Jannik, I think it's going to be full focus ahead from him and his team to absolutely get himself into the quarterfinals here in Rome. Cerundolo is great and he can do, absolutely some amazing stuff on court, but I think it will be somewhat like his match against Carlos Alcaraz in Monte Carlo. He might have a great set or play some great games here and there, but I think once the greats switch on their on button, like Sinner can definitely do much better this year than he could do in 2023. This is a different matchup, and as I said, Cerundolo will say, "Well, I beat him in 2023 here in Rome. Why can't I do it in 2025?" Well, he's a Grand Slam champion now. He's absolutely worked on his physicality issues that he usually had in the past, especially in 2023, where we saw him lose some tight 3-set matches in some Masters 1000s, like in Monte Carlo against Holger Rune. In 2024, he completely changed the narrative of his game, and I think in 2025, now that he's back, he'll continue to do so, and he'll get himself into the quarterfinals.